Lent is here again, calling us back to God. It is a time of grace, a time of renewal, a time when the church reminds us to pause and reflect on our lives. It is not just another season on the church's calendar. It is a personal invitation from God to each of us. He is calling us to return to Him with all our hearts. He is calling us to let go of everything that keeps us far from Him. Lent lasts for 40 days. Just as Jesus spent 40 days in the desert fasting, praying, and overcoming temptation. It is a time of deep reflection, a time to look at our lives and ask ourselves hard questions. Am I truly living as a child of God? Am I growing in holiness? Am I letting sin control my life? Do I love God above everything else? It is easy to go through life distracted. We are busy with work, studies, family, and responsibilities. We make excuses for not praying, for not reading the Bible, for not making time for God. But Lent is here again, shaking us out of our routine, reminding us that our spiritual life is the most important part of who we are. It reminds us that this world is passing, and what truly matters is our relationship with God. Every year, the church invites us to observe Lent through prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. These are not just religious traditions. They are powerful tools to help us grow in faith. Prayer is our connection to God, yet so often we neglect it. We rush through our days, forgetting that God is always waiting to hear from us. This Lent, let us commit to deepening our prayer life. It does not have to be complicated. We can start by setting aside just 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night to talk to God. We can read the Bible, meditate on the life of Jesus, or simply sit in silence and listen to Him. We can pray the rosary, attend Mass more often, and visit the Blessed Sacrament. When we make time for God, He fills our hearts with peace and strength. Fasting is another powerful practice of Lent. Many people think of fasting only in terms of food, but it is much more than that. Fasting is about discipline. It is about training ourselves to say no to things that control us. We can fast from bad habits, from gossip, from social media, from anything that takes too much of our time and keeps us from growing spiritually. When we fast, we make space for God. We remind ourselves that we do not live for pleasure alone, but for something greater. Almsgiving is love in action. It is not just about giving money to the poor. It is about sharing our time, our kindness,